If you've been watching my channel, you've seen the homemade arcade behind me, and you might have seen the video where I was able to build it when I was laid off my job and I never had that much cash to spend on it. So I thought it'd be cool in this video to take it apart and show you the insides, and you'll see just how simple it can be to build one of these things. Whether you're using an old arcade cabinet that someone's getting rid of, or you want to build the body of it yourself like I did. And also, if you stick around until the end of the video, Batman over here told me that he's going to reveal a very fun arcade game that uses the trackball that's perfect to play with your friends if you have them over or you're planning on going out afterwards. He actually gave the Bat guarantee that you and your friends will just have so much more fun. The first step in taking this arcade machine apart is I just got to unplug everything. You can ignore the complicated plug, that's just my LED lights. But on the back I have two holes that have mesh in them that I got from the dollar store, and that just lets the arcade vent all the heat out. We'll get that unplugged. It's just the power bar that leads into the arcade. So inside there's a Dell Dimension computer, and the cord's just plugged into that, and a power bar. And if there's any wires in the top half that are feeding down to the bottom half of the arcade, I just need to put those back up top so I can take it apart. We'll get the power bar cord taken in, and I'll just start unplugging everything. And I can start removing items from the bottom of the arcade. The Dell Dimension 3100 is just a single core computer. It's from the early 2000s, so it can only really play old 8-bit or 16-bit games. It can't really play the 3D games in the late 90s. I'll just turn this around here so you can see what's in the back. That's just the power cord. That's my speaker audio cord, and I use the USB options for the X arcade stick. And that's just the keyboard USB and the VGA cable for the monitor. Well, I'll just start unplugging these out of the computer. And I want to show you the back of this computer too. It's really old. So I need to get the computer out of the arcade itself, so I just take that out through the front door. Or I could actually lift the big bottom piece right up off of it, because the computer is basically just sitting on the floor. You can see the cords are just in a big tangle. I'll sort those out. I was just lazy when I moved it to the living room, but here they are unsorted, and I'll show you later in the video when it's all hooked up. Now that the computer's out of the arcade, I'll just remove this keyboard drawer as well, just to get it out of the way. That's where I got the mini controller stored. I gotta be careful here as well, because the keyboard USB is still hanging down there. And you can see the inside of the arcade is really simple. It's just basically a computer with some USB stuff plugged into it and a light. I'm just gonna move the arcade stick a little bit so it'll be easier to get the top half of the arcade body off later. The arcade body is in two pieces. It makes it a lot easier to move. So you can see here the slice in the middle. Then I can remove the top, but I have to make sure that I get the wires from the bottom up through a hole in the middle here. And once those are up there and the top's off, I can get rid of the X arcade stick, and the monitor can go as well. There's a hole in the middle of the arcade on the inside that all the wires feed down through, so I can just bring those all up through there. At this point I realize I should probably take the Batman stuff off the top of the arcade. Before I take the top piece off, I'll take the artwork off so you can just see how I did that. It's just Velcro behind a piece of backlit vinyl. You can see inside the backlight is here, and the wire just drops straight down. I could take the speakers and the backlight out, but the speakers are pretty much jammed in there and the backlight screwed on, so I'll just leave those there. You can see the artwork here that I made. I call it One Genuine Acme Rocket Powered Nostalgia Generator, and put some familiar characters. As mentioned in my last video, I also put the Easter egg of the lunar lander on the moon outside the planet. You don't need the extra little things like the backlight and the artwork and even the paint. I never painted my arcade cabinet until a while later. It was actually wood color in my apartment for a while. On the very top of the arcade machine is just capped off with a square piece of wood, but I'll just take that off so you can see the inside better. The reason why there's a third compartment at the top is just so I can put the speaker wires and the backlight wires on it, so when I take the top off I don't have wires hanging down all over the place. The trickiest part about my arcade is when I take the top piece off, the monitor's still inside, so I just gotta be careful not to damage the monitor. And of course you can see I just hit the monitor with the arcade. Having the arcade in two pieces is awesome because if I move, I can just take it apart and have smaller pieces to work with, and I can move it all myself. Now the X arcade stick and the monitor is pretty much the last thing to go on this, but I just wanted to show you a better view of that hole in the middle for all the wires. There goes the X arcade stick. You don't need the X arcade tank stick. You can get any type of trackball, or if you can just get one that plugs into a USB or something. The trackballs are definitely worth it. They're a lot of fun. The monitor's last to go. So this is everything taken apart. It's really not too complicated. Everything's just put together with Velcro or USB plugs and a power bar. Now on the bottom here you can see I got things to protect the floor. My living room's hardwood, so I really don't want to scratch it up. I just got those from the dollar store. Here's the wires sorted out. It looks a lot better, and I put the power bar back on the Velcro on the computer. It looks a lot cleaner. And to sort the wires coming down, I just used some of these wire things like after the dollar store. I find they work really well for cables. You know what? I think it's time. Alright Batman, the viewers have been waiting. They're so eager to know what's this mysterious game that's so fun to play with your friends that you've been waiting to reveal to us this whole time, so come on with us. Oh, it's in your utility belt. Okay, well this better be good. World Class Bowling Deluxe. Are you sure? Alright, I guess let's give it a try. Let's see what you got, Batman. Oh, you got a strike! Come on, man! Hey, this game is actually awesome. You can play with 4 people, and I gotta tell you, my friends love this thing. It doesn't even matter if they're gamers or not. You can play regulation or flash. You use the buttons on the arcade stick to change the spin on the ball. You can see the red arrow on the bottom right corner. And then you just use the trackball to move wherever you want and then bowl. You can see that the spin effect actually works really well. You can spin it a lot more than that. Or you can just shoot it straight. Here I shot it straight just to get a spear. Sometimes when you bowl, something weird happens with the pins and you'll get a funny animation here like Grandma's teeth. And it's actually so awesome when you get a strike. Everyone just goes nuts and they start high-fiving. It's like you're actually at a bowling alley. I'd highly recommend it. I have way more YouTube content coming from the arcade and all things retro gaming. And Batman also said that you should subscribe to the channel and check out the rest of our videos. Thanks again for tuning in and take care.